Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am T, call me Auntie T, because I have been a sex worker and in the industry since pre-COVID. I feel ancient in a way because of COVID, but I have been a sex worker for on and off about 4 years, 3 or 4 years now. I started off as a dancer. COVID hit. I was dancing for maybe about a year and a half, almost 2. COVID hit. I remember the day. I remember it well. COVID hit. I started stripping because I had bills to pay. I was in college. COVID hit. I finished up my bachelor's, finished up school, started working a regular job, city job. And I moved, started the city job. And then I started dancing again. I had a sugar daddy when I moved away, had that for a while. And I was putting up advertisements for a while as well while I was away. And now I've moved again. I was still working civvy. I put all of that behind me. Things ended with the sugar daddy. Bless him for that time. I don't miss him. But then I got fired. I got fired last year. Hate them. When you start working a regular job after being a sex worker, the way that it just messes with your mind. And there are ways that sex work messes with your mind in a bad way, but in another way, it really just put me in a space where I just knew I did not have to tolerate certain treatment, certain money, being harassed, sexually harassed and such by my bosses, with customers. It just the disrespect. And so they fired me. I was asking too many questions. I was saying that I'm not going to be a liability for your company. You need to hire more people. So they fired me. Shout out to my savings. I was able to survive for a few months until my one friend hit me up and she was like, girl, we're going to go audition at some strip clubs again. I know it's been a while for you, but you're not working right now. Let's go back to the club, because I wasn't finding anything. Now, I had been out from dancing since COVID, a few years, even though I did briefly work at a club when I was out of town. That was fun. I was working and doing that on the weekends. I was like, all right, I'm not too excited. I don't think I'm going to get hired, in the city. I am a Black sex worker. So if you're in the city, you deal with a lot of isms. And I was like, I don't know. Even though I'm a gentleman's club type of girl, gentlemen's clubs, the managers, the owners at gentlemen's clubs are racist. They're quite finicky with their quote unquote types. So I was like, I don't know. I got hired. Grateful, because that was the only income that I had coming in ever since I had gotten fired. I was using up my savings, which was okay. I was paying all my bills. Everything was cool. I wasn't really stressing. And now here we are. I'm approaching being there for an entire year. And I take care of myself on that one, not on that one income, but I take care of myself with dancing being my main source of income. And when I started dancing again and had to get my sea legs back, I'm older in the club. There's a lot of girls who get hired when they're very young. And I remember having conversations with some of them about, tracking your money. Do you know how much you make? You make a bag in here. You're always in champagne rooms. You're always in VIPs. Yes, you can take care of all your bills, and that's amazing. But do you know how much you're actually making? Are you saving? And I remember having this conversation with some of the girls I worked with, and they weren't tracking. So I am making this channel to stress the importance of saving. I started when we had very few resources around. Now there's, everybody's got a stripper vlog. Everyone's got a stripper TikTok. I had Stripper Reb, rest in peace to Stripper Web, before they took it offline. And I was reading, stories from those strong women who survived, the recession, survived the economic crash, and like hustlers, how different it was, how they were trying to survive, they're transitioning out, and how one day you're making so much money, and next thing you know, it's all gone. Everything has changed. And COVID was my experience with, one moment the club is there, next moment it's gone. And you have to figure it out. So I am going to be going over what my months look like. We have some holidays coming up. Easter is also on a Sunday. I was asking about it. My club says that they're not going to be closed on Easter. They're going to be open, but I don't really know if too many people are actually interested in coming to a strip club on Sunday. It really depends. I work at night, so I don't start until, everybody's done for the day. So it's a possibility. We're gonna think on it and see. But St. Patrick's Day, I know I'm gonna work. Every Friday and Saturday this month, I'm gonna be working. Thursdays, debatable, because if I'm not taking home at least $100 on a Thursday, that's not really worth it to me. My house fee is $40 since I get there open, which that's cool, but I have to Uber to work. I have to get ready. If I buy any food, like, it's the overhead costs. If I can't make back $40, $100, I don't have a profit. And to me, that means I'm paying the club to sit there and look like a statue, look pretty in the corner. That's not worth it to me. I'm not that bored. It's not very lucrative to me. I'm hoping that with the temperature going up, with things getting warmer, more people feel inclined to come out. I have a photo shoot that I decided yesterday that I'm going to do. I just don't know how many pictures I want, so that's something that, like, I need to save up for. And yeah, this is what it's gonna look like for right now. This might change, and I'll do a check-in later, especially at the end of the month when I total all of this up, like the number of days I worked, how much I put towards my savings and things like that. But for right now, here's a quick snapshot of the month of March for my days. And this payday, this is just like when I like to go do my bank deposits. I actually ended up doing it on the 4th. It's really spontaneous. I don't think people should be able to track how often you go do your bank runs, you do your money deposits. The only people who expect me are my bankers. So the next thing that I'll be going over are the categories for the taxes. If you are someone who wants to be a homeowner and things like that, I went to a tax professional, a CPA this year, and they sent me a spreadsheet to help me organize all my expenses, my budgeting, and this very, very long list are all of the categories that they told me to write down. There's a few here on the back. Since I dance, I also do featured performances. I've started doing content creation. I stopped putting up advertisements, but I have some nice friends who will come and see me every so often. So, but right now it's mostly just dancing. I stopped paying for advertisements for the time being. I'm really just focused on strip club shenanigans. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the budget categories from that list in hopes that if you are someone trying to organize your budgeting, trying to figure out what's a write-off and how much should I actually give the club, I recommend you get a budget book. It'll just help you visually categorize everything. You can just use a regular notebook, but however you decide to do it, write it down. You should know how much money you are making per month, how much money you are making per shift, right? I enjoy using Just the Tips. It's an app on the phone, and I get to write in my tip outs, how much I got in funny money, what my take home was, what my hourly rate is, because I worked from this shift to this shift. I can write notes down like, oh, I saw John again, and I spent X amount of time with John, and he gave me this amount in a tip, and any little notes like that. And then I also enjoy that it writes down and has a report for you that tells you what your best days are, what your worst days are to work, which is how I know Sunday is terrible. And for me, across the board, Sundays is not a very high performing day. It's like once every blue moon. And this last Sunday proved that to also be the case. It's just not a good day for me. But Friday and Saturdays are good. I can always make money on Friday and Saturday. So I always show up on those days. I enjoy that. There's plenty of them out there. If you are tech savvy, you can also learn, how to do it on Excel spreadsheets. But just something that will indicate to you how much you are making, so that at the end of the year, I made X amount of money. When I went to my CPA, he said that you should be aiming for budgeting about 30 to 35% of your income towards future taxes. Now, because last year I was working that civ job, right? That civvy job, that regular job, they fired me, but I still had W-2s from my job. And he told me that is helping to offset how much I owe to Uncle Sam. Okay. And he even said, if you can find even a part-time job or something temporary, because this is all cash-based tips, that would help you in the future, because I could have easily been owing about $1,500 to $2,000 for the 6 months that I worked last year, based off how much money that I made. So that's going to be my plan. I'm going to be trying to find work that's going to give me a W-2 so that I'm not having to pay an arm and a leg next year for taxes. No shame in my game. Honestly, it makes me feel better to know that I have benefits and a guaranteed income coming in. It's very hard right now to find work. However, I think that you just have to do what you got to do. It can be hard to work with the 9 to 5, which is why I'm tempted to only do something temporary, something only part-time, just to give me maybe seasonal, maybe just to give me something to cushion on, and keep me on a schedule. But don't let anybody shame you in just needing to supplement it, right? Not everybody is a high roller. So let's get into this list. So, house fees, staff tips, shoes you bought, hair extensions, makeup, hairstyling products, tanning, cab fare and Ubers, any costumes or dance outfits, a personal trainer, jewelry. For me, I had jewelry repaired because I snapped a couple of necklaces on a shift. He let me count that, towards jewelry, for jewelry repair, because I always wear jewelry when I'm at work. Vehicle mileage, bookkeeping services like QuickBooks people use, music purchases. Some of these are also if you're a content creator. My CPA said, the expenses for sex workers, there's a lot of overlap. So they have both that in here, and then also entertaining. And then he also, asked me if there were any advertisements, payments that I was making. And I was like, no, I didn't do that this year. But you'll see some of these expenses, you're like music purchases. Some people who they, you buy your own music to play in the background and things, that can count. Okay. Hotel and lodging. If you're a traveling dancer, I've done photo shoots and I've booked my own hotel space for the photo shoot. That counts in there too. Chiropractor. I've started going to physical therapy. So for next year, taxes, that's going to be included on here too. Keep your receipts. Pole lessons, dance lessons, cell phone. Because I am a content creator now, I need my cell phone to create. That's on here too. Tax accountant, I had to pay them about somewhere around like almost $300 to do my taxes for me. So that they put that on there too. Gym membership, internet service, massage therapy, meals while working. Now this one is debatable. I think it's going to depend on who you go to, who your CPA is. There's some people who says, yes, you can. There's some people who say, no, you cannot, right? Similar to the surgery, where people ask like, oh, well, if I got a boob job, does that count as a write-off? Some people say, yeah, because you needed it to make more money. Some people say no, because you cannot take the boobs off when you leave. You're from filming a scene, leaving from work when you clock out. Debatable. I think go to your CPA and figure it out. I've heard a really good CPA will be able to find out for you whether or not it works, because it is a one-time expense. But many will argue no, because you can't take it off. Nails, I get regular gel right now. As you can see, it was coming off because I'm a pole girly, so I scrape. I'm a toe dragger. It starts chipping. But my nail appointments didn't specify. I know some people, such as like the Only Consultant, and Daisy does taxes and such like that, they'll also mention, if they're press-on nails, sure, because those can come off. And you can put those on when you go to work, take them off when you get home. It kind of falls under the costume category. My CPA didn't make that differentiation. I think similar to the makeup, because it's all categorized similar with content creators. Since I am at a club where I am doing these things for appearances to make more money, I wear makeup every time I go into work. I'm always trying to make sure my nails are done. I'm always putting on jewelry on my shift. I think they are working off the assumption that this is a requirement for you to be there for your club. Some clubs are quite particular about presentation. Then we have your health insurance. If you're an independent contractor, if you are old enough to be paying for your own health insurance, like myself, you're no longer on your family plan, that counts, because the club does not provide you with health insurance. It is possible for that to be a write-off for you. Computer, if you bought a new computer. Airfare, if you're traveling, right? Suitcase, dance bag, dancer licenses. This depends on where you are. That counts. You can't dance if you don't have the license. Business cards, printer and fax, a business license, right? For the folks who have like an SWer, an LLC, digital camera or your camcorder. And then the last few are office furniture, office supplies. I bought a hard drive to put all of my boudoir shoots and my photo shoots, and help me categorize all the pictures that I upload into my content creation. He said that that can count. Auto expenses. I don't drive, so I can't really say what that counts as. But for office supplies, I know that my applications that I use, so I use Canva, for example, to make my flyers, any type of screening tools like my extra storage to save more pictures, my photo editing apps that I pay a subscription for. I have the NordVPN, I have McAfee, and that counts. So those subscriptions, those purchases that I made, my email listserv subscription that I pay monthly, that counts towards the write-off. Like, these are things that you are utilizing for your business and you can put down on there. Make sure you are keeping up with how many days you're working, how much you're tipping out, how much are you paying in house fees. On my list for my CPA, he did say that, you know, they acknowledge that like house fees and the tip outs, those don't truly count towards your income because you're paying to work there, and that gets deducted out. Like, this is a requirement for you to work, right? Tipping out isn't a requirement at some places. Some places, like down in Miami and such, they take a cut out. It's required to be tipping out, you know, your DJ $10, $20 per each time, tipping out your sweepers. They acknowledge that these are necessary expenses. So make sure you are keeping up with how much you are providing to people. Okay, so let's get into a few of the goals that I'm setting for myself, because we touch a lot of money. If you are a sex worker, you are probably touching a lot of money, and we need to be very mindful of where we're putting it, how we're using it, and setting yourself up for the future. I know girls who, you know, they got an injury and now you're out for like 3 months, 6 months. You get a surgery, you have downtime, and you need to survive off of your savings, essentially. And there's so many different ways to save. There's all the different, like Dave Ramsey models, save your first 1K. There's the budgeting, the 50, 30, 20 rule, right? Then there's the envelopes, right? You do the cash stuffing, you pay only in cash and do the envelope system. I've tried so many of them, and I'm going to go over the method that works for me, and then how I am going about saving and what I'm doing with my money moving forward. So cash stuffing didn't work. Paying things in cash didn't work. I was, you know, walking around with all that change in my pocket. Didn't like that. You know, sometimes when you have cash, the bills just jump out of your pocket, and you're like, hey, where'd that 20 go? It's gone. It's gone. So I am someone who uses my card because I use budgeting apps with my bank. I use a credit union, and I use my card because then the transactions get categorized automatically, and it'll tell me like, hey, you know, you're getting close to the end of this budget, right? And then you can organize it, because when I was filing for my taxes, I opened a separate checkings account, and I try to use that account strictly for my expenses pertaining to work. I do my cash deposits in there. My content creation deposits go to there. My like Cash App and Venmo and things are connected to that account. My Ubers come out there. So all of that, I try to strictly stay to that account. And then anything that's personal, it's on the second checkings account that I have. I have multiple savings account because right now the APR rate, the interest rate is so high on savings accounts that it is strongly encouraged that you open a high yield savings account and deposit your money into there and let that money work for you and grow. I'm not gonna hold you. I do have a shoebox going right now, and it's under my mattress, you know, because if I see the money in my account, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna be like, oh, I can afford to do this. I can go buy some food before work. I can get these new shoes. Sometimes out of sight, out of mind. That's what helps me personally, because I have a bad habit of just swiping my card. You don't feel good, you go buy something. I'm buying food. I don't want to cook. I don't have time to cook because I work on the weekends, and the days just blend together. They just steamroll into one another, and all I know is work, go to sleep. I barely have time to eat. I barely have time to drink me some water. Okay, I use the apps to keep me on budgeting. So I do use my card because I found that that budget planner that I had, sitting down and writing out like all my transactions that I made, painful. I'm not going to do it. Let the computer do it for me. So I have a birthday trip fund. I'm going to say about $700. That's my plan. I'm also going to be attending a wedding while out there. So I need to buy a dress. I need to buy outfits for the week that I'm going to be out there. I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to get my nails done. It's going to be expensive. That's coming up closer to summer. So we're going to be working towards this. Okay. My taxes that are coming out this week is going to be $371. And I'm expected to get a refund of $908. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Shout out to that W-2. Okay. Shout out to that W-2. Because at first, oh, and that I have to pay my own health insurance. At first, because of the health insurance thing, I was only going to get like less than 100. But since, you know, I have to pay Blue Cross Blue Shield so much money, it's coming back to me. Okay. Because they asked me to, you know, give us an estimate of how much you think you're going to be making per month. And I overshot it. You know, I started in the summer and money was good. I said, this is how much I'm going to be making. And you know, then winter came and I don't have regulars, right? I just started at that club. Things were different. Things were very different. So that's going to be coming back to me. I'm not sure how I'm going to use this money. I'm going to be honest. My biggest concern, the biggest, you know, thing that is holding me back from saving as much money that I can be and budgeting right is Discover. Discover has had me in a 360 deal since I was about 19 in college. And it's eating me up. The interest is eating me up. So I've been trying to get back into figuring out how to get a hold of my budgeting because, right, I went from having a paycheck to not having a paycheck for a few months, then dancing. It's not very consistent income. Sometimes you're making a bag, sometimes you're not. So it's very inconsistent. And when you're making inconsistent money that fluctuates, but your bills are not fluctuating very much, you need to set a number in mind. So my plan and what's been working for me the last few months has been to pay my bills off as soon as I get the money. So February was surprisingly a very good month. It usually isn't a good month because it's winter, right? So February, I paid off a bunch of my bills. I got my money and I just started like paying the stuff off early if you can. The ones that are on auto pay, I just try to make sure the money is in the account so it can pull it out, because I messed up at first and then it double took the money out and then I was like, I'm short. Not doing that this time around. So Discover bill, I pay almost $300 to Discover per month. But thanks to February, that's already done. So I paid off Discover. Discover comes in the middle of the month for me, my Discover bill. I already paid that off last week. So now it's at zero. Now I can just make contributions to it to try to get that debt down myself. So my goal is to put away $100 per week for this month, since it's a long month. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna count this first week of March. I'm not, because I have these taxes coming out. So I actually had to pull some money from my savings to make sure that I have enough for Uncle Sam to take out my hand. Okay, so next week my regulars coming, so it should work out because I've paid off a vast majority of my bills for the month of March. I had a couple of more, right? So like I have pet insurance, I have dance classes, I have a membership that I'm paying for, so that's coming near the end of the month. That's on auto pay, literally like the last week of the month, so I have time to save up and pay some of those off. And then that photo shoot, right? Let's actually add that in here. There's some different packages with the photo shoot. You know, like you get X amount of edits back for this rate. I don't know how much I want to spend on it because it was kind of impromptu, right? I've been trying to get into the, I'm gonna take my own photos. I don't like it. I don't like how I look in it. I'm not a photographer and I don't know my angles yet. So I'm willing to pay. I have before. They come out great. So I saw one package that I like. It was like the max amount of images and things that you get edited. We're gonna just say 300. Let's say that. Let's say 300. This could be less, okay? The end of the month could come and I could be like, you know what? I don't want all these photos. I'm only gonna do like 100 something, like 150. Just give me like a few. We're gonna see. So this can change, okay? Since I don't have a regular job anymore, so I don't receive a 401k, I am contributing to my own retirement fund and I have a Roth IRA. Because of the, projected income that I had, I just told them like, you know, maybe like 3K a month, maybe. That fluctuates, right? Sometimes I'm over, sometimes I'm under. The max I can contribute, and this is according to all the financial gurus, you should always be trying to max out your retirement fund for like the most benefit. I know that since this is the second year that I'll be contributing, it's gone up. So I think that the max contributions I can make in 1 year is like 2,700. I'm following like a very bare basics model of just put 1K in there, you know. I know that savings, having my savings is more important to me. And that extra 1,700, I don't want to just throw it into the pot that I can't touch until I'm what, 65, if I make it that far. I'm trying to pay off this debt. I need to have more money in my hand. I need to live some life. Okay? So that's extra 1,700. I'd rather put it here. I'd rather pay Discover down so the shackles can be removed off of me. Okay? So my goal is only to hit 1K for retirement savings by the end of the year. I have a little budget sheet that I'm following that's like, oh, this month, put this away. For the month, for the next month, put this away, this amount away. So for February, I think it was $70. I think I only did about 30. I think for the month of March, it's a total of like 40. I need to double check. I'm spitballing right now because I'm unsure. But for the month of March, this is what I'm going to be trying to catch up and make sure that like I'm on track for contributing to that. And once I hit the 1K, I'm done. Okay? That's all I'm going to do for right now, because this is the one that I need to get down. I remember the days when this Discover bill was only like $50. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. And now it's almost $300. Do you know what I could have done I could do with that extra $250? We need to get back. We need to get back on track. And the interest is so high that me making the minimum payments of $300 is not enough. And so it's just creeping. And then they be like, hey, you know, your payments are on time. You want some more? And they increase my credit limit, and me not being smart, I use it. We need to get rid of her, okay? We need to get rid of her. I'm ready to break up with her. This is priority. Okay, so my budgeting book. Shout out to this budgeting book. These are my little stickers. Every Bit Adds Up. From the La Marie. I think that's how I'm gonna say it. The La Marie. Okay. I get this off of Amazon. This is my second year using this book. I love it very, very much. There's a bunch of trackers in here. These are your annual budgets, right? As you can see, my projected I can just put my projected. That's not the real deal. That's just how much I wanted to make for the month of February. You can track all your bills, all your annual bills that don't change. You can track the bills that do fluctuate, right? So like my cell phone bill, you know, it's off by a couple of cents. So it's over on this one. But there's these great sections for how to save, right? So I hope that at one point I can reach $10,000 long term for my life savings. My emergency fund, my goal is to have 6K. That's like 3 months of expenses for me. So I just got it at 2K right now. And I think once I hit 2K, that's like an extra month, I will be comfortable with moving forward with knocking down that debt. So then that way I can save more. I have these on auto save. These are on auto saving. So they just pull out, literally I have it set to pull out $5 every week. So it's $25 a month towards one savings account. And then my second savings account with the high yield rate, I have it pulling $25 bi-weekly, so $50 a month. And I don't touch it. I don't have to think about it. I'm not like struggling to hit the transfer, the submit button to see that money leave my account. It just takes it out without me thinking about it, okay? It's got some more sections in here with your debt tracker, how much you started with, what's the date, how much you paid, and what balance you got. I love this thing. It's really keeping you on track with what to do and in your notes, okay? This is my goal, how much I'm putting away per month for savings. As you can see, January, I have a goal for 100 per month. January, I hit it. February, I also hit it. And the only reason why I was able to put over $1,000 in there was because I had been saving up for taxes. For the taxes, remember I said that you should be having 30 to 35% of your money put away. So I had put away a bunch of money in preparation to, you know, have this due. Because of the W-2s, I didn't have that much due, and I ended up just moving it over into my savings. So this was the end of February. This was how much I had, and I was like, cool, look, we reached the 2K. Now I can move on. Because of the taxes, right? This 371. I will let you know that a couple of days ago, I did pull out 400. So we're starting off low for the month of March, and we have to put that back. I pulled out 400 in preparations for these taxes to be moved. And I'm just going to go back to, I'm hoping to save 100 per month. Okay. If I get a little bit extra, I could roll it over. I could put it into savings. But this is for the online bank account. I love Ally Bank. I've had them for years. The interest rate at Ally Bank is much higher than it is at my credit union. So I try to put a vast majority of my money over there. Okay. I do have my savings account at my bank, and theirs is okay. You should have liquid money. Liquid money means that there is money that you can grab in case of an emergency, right? It's not like you're waiting, or, you know, like a CD or bonds that you're not supposed to be touching, right? Or you get that penalty fee. Liquid money means if I need this money, I can go and grab it right now, okay? That's where my 6K goal is, my 2K a month. I told myself if I have 2K in liquid at my bank, I will be comfortable, because the most I'm planning for an emergency is like, oh my gosh, I need to pull out 2K, at least for right now. So for example, one of my pets, my cat had to needed surgery. That was around like 2K. I did not have that. Okay, so planning for the future, like 2K, that's okay. If it's anything bigger than that, then I really need to sit down, plan it out, figure out like where that money is coming from and what I'm gonna do. Okay, and that I'm gonna put away. So this is gonna change. I'll check back in with this by the end of March. And then each of these will be a month. And then this will be the total. And we'll just see by the end of 2024 how much I saved and how much I contributed towards my savings account. Now, I do have buckets on Ally Bank where one is just strictly for taxes. And so whatever amount I have, when I start the next year, it's gonna look different because I had to pull it from my taxes. But as long as I'm not touching it, it's gonna go into this little piggy bank right here. Okay, So goals for the month. This is my plan. I don't know what I'm going to do with this refund. I could do this, right? I could do this. I could, make sure that I finish the month of February, the month of March. I could even do April. I could do that. I could finish doing this with this money, and then the extra 200, maybe I put it towards there. I don't know. Maybe I put it all in my savings. I'm leaning towards, like, I'm going to put 400 here, then put the 500 here. And then, like, I'm just going to have to make some shake at work because I want this trip. So I need to earn this trip. Okay. I'm tempted to do that. I'm also tempted to just be like, okay, I'm going to be contributing some money towards this photo shoot, but I don't know how much I want to do for the photo shoot. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So, I'll come back later and we'll see what happens when I receive it closer to the end of the month, middle of the month. We'll see. Okay. Remember that shoebox I mentioned? I'm going to pull her out and we're going to see for the month of January and February. And then, I had gotten some singles this first weekend. My friend and I are doing a savings challenge where all of the singles that we get, you put it away into the shoebox. Don't touch it. Okay. It's really good because mentally, if I'm thinking, oh my gosh, and I've had some days like this where, like, it's all stage money, you getting tipped in these singles. I remember one night and I went to my girlfriend and I said, oh my gosh, I don't get to keep any of this money. Like, all of this is going away. So it really puts a fire under you to start selling those champagne rooms, start selling some dances, get those big bills, right? If it's $5, I get to keep that. If it's singles, nope, don't touch it. Can't touch it. So it really puts a fire under you to make sure that you are selling. And I really like that. I really feel like it gives me a lot more focus, and it really makes me not put up with any of the cheap customers because I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I have goals to hit. So I'm going to go get her. We're going to do a money count, right? Because everybody loves a stripper money count. Everybody loves that. I do too. And we're going to go through, I'm going to count it. I'm going to rubber band it. I need to buy a money counter. That is one of my goals for this month too. I'm going to put that down on here because I have one in my cart just whenever I'm ready. They actually sent me a coupon code today like, hey, money counter. So the one that I was looking at, I think it was like 40 something, but taxes, let's just say it's $60. I want this. It will make my life easier. When I stop dancing though, what am I going to do with a money counter? I don't know. But I like it. I like hearing it. I like watching the girls, do the little money counter and run the money. I love that. So I want one. I want one. That's going to be my goal too. But until then, we're going to go get this shoebox. I'm going to count out how much I have, rubber band it. And then, I feel like the money that is going into this shoebox, it's either going to be going towards my savings, like my long-term savings, or paying off my credit card. Because the goal is to fill up the box. I have a pleaser shoebox, okay? So I'm debating shoebox money. It's one of these. Like, just deposit all of that and put it towards that. I mentally was like, it's all going to go towards my credit card bill. But then, once again, that means I need to rejig where my contributions are going. If I keep contributing to this and my shoebox money, I'll get to pay this off faster. But then I'm also thinking, oh, but then I can hit the savings goal faster too. it really comes down to what takes the most priority in your life right now. Some people need to save because you don't even have $1,000 for an emergency. Like you just shit out of luck. You need to decide what takes the most priority. You cannot go wrong with just having a savings goal of $1,000 or $2,000. I've been watching this one woman. I'm going to try to figure out her name. But she just mentioned that sometimes people get caught in this loop. And I was in this loop too. Of you are so anxious with your money that you're just like, oh my gosh, I need to save. Oh my gosh, but what if this happens? What if this happens? I need to be ready. I need to be ready. And you are constantly putting money into this pot with no end goal in mind, and then everything else is still like eating you up. You don't get to enjoy anything because you're like, oh my gosh, I need to put it away. Make the money work for you. Start doing some of these investments. Start paying down your debt. That's step 2. Get your savings. Step 2, start paying down what takes a lot of debt, like the highest interest. Because once this gets lower, once I'm not paying $300 a month, even if I get to knock it down to $200 a month, that's an extra $100 that I get to budget. So this is my plan. And let's go do this count. All right. We're going to see. Here's my box. Okay. Shout out to Pleaser. My favorite. I still have my, what's it called in there? I have my rubber bands, okay. What I like to do is, just trying to see if I have any ones that are loose. I like to color coordinate my bills. Blue is for 100, red is for 50. And yeah, it just helps when I go to the bank and they're like, how much is this? And I'll be like, I don't know. Let me look at the rubber bands. So let's get into it. I'm gonna put these aside, a couple out. Let's get into it. Let's see how much I have saved in singles for the month of both January and February. Oh, but first, of course, we got to make sure that all of this money faces the right way. Don't disrespect the money. We are appreciative for it. And we got to make sure that all of these bills are facing the proper way before we do this count. So let me organize it, because I think these ones facing this way, I already did for the month of January. So we just got to do the other half. I'm going to double check. I think so. That looks straight. That looks straight. So she's going to go there. So then we just got to make sure that these are facing the right way. These are facing the right way. Okay. Let's organize this too. I'll do this off camera. Ugh, I don't know if I can turn this in. And I don't have the piece. I will do emergency surgery on these bills. Tape it so that I can turn it in. I'm gonna put her to the side. I don't know if the bank will take it. I'm gonna put her to the side. Rest in peace. Okay, let me do this. All right, here we go. Excluding that one little dollar. What do you think? I love doing money guesses. I love this. You see those crisp bills in there? You see how they stiff. Oh, love that. Love that. How much do I think this is? I think this might be, we might be at somewhere between like 6 to 8. I think this might be like 600. That's my guess. I don't know, but it's a nice amount. It's a nice amount. Ugh, I love touching money when I need to pick me up. I just go in this shoebox and I just touch this money. I'm going to be honest with you. Because I remember when I did not have this. So I'm always grateful, and I just love the feel. I love the feel. So let's get into this count. I got my rubber bands to start and my hand sanitizer. Money is dirty. Money is dirty. I don't know. I've seen the little clips where like the little baby dancers, the little girlies are like washing money, like dead ass, like putting soap in there. I don't understand it. I don't know why you do that. It's not necessary. You just wash your hands or use this hand sanitizer. Because I remember when I first started, and when I had bills that were wet, because like I had a pool. My first club had like a pool, and if there was money that fell in the water and you took it, or if it was sticking to my back and I was really like sweating like a pig in a blanket, if the money was soft, it would tear. I also remember the first time that I jammed an ATM because my bills were so wet. I don't know why girls are washing it besides the money, okay? Hand sanitizer. I keep this in my purse. I keep it in my shoebox with the money so that whenever I touch this, whenever I'm counting, I put some of this on. Okay? Let's get into it. All right, we are back. Child, where did I come up with 600 from? I'm tired. I think that's how much I made during the week. Yeah, I think that's why I have 600 on the brain, because that was my goal for the week. It was 600. Okay, so we don't have 600 in the box yet. We got 200 here. This is 25. Oh, they're so stuck. 3, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. That's 25. This was a 10, so 15. We got 20 here. So right now we have 225 going towards the shoebox. I'm not mad at it for 2 months. You know, I want big bills. I want big bills. That's what I really want. And I'm gonna actually do, we're gonna do yellow. Yeah, yellow for 25. And then once I get some more, you know, we'll go back to where it is. So let's go in. Oh, and then we got Missy right here. I don't think I can count it. Like sometimes if it's a little bit of a tear, it doesn't invalidate the bill. But, and I will tape them. I will do emergency surgery and tape it, but I don't know where this went. It looks like somebody bit it. So she'll stay in there for right now. I'm gonna ask when I go to the bank. This is what we got. This is what's going for us. She's going in the shoebox. So I'm going in here. So the goal is we are going to fill up this entire box by the end of the year. I got a second pleasers box if that's what it rolls into. But my goal is just all of my singles are gonna go in here. We're gonna fill it up. I really wonder, I've been trying to think like if I do it this way, I could push some more in here, cause I feel like from the end to end, I might need like 800 to reach from like wall to wall in this box. And then this side, if I turn it this, you know, if I turn it landscape, I do it like this, it might be less. So we're gonna try to do it like this. Okay. Then I got one side and I got two sides. So by the end of this box, it should be, okay, hand sanitizer. It should be all done. And yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited to put this video out. I'm excited to track this journey with you all. And I'm excited. I'm just excited. I'm excited to pass along this knowledge because my friends and I just talked about how nobody goes over the budgeting, right? There's so many people who, you know, you've been doing this for a while. You never learned how to save. And so many of us get into sex work either out of survival or just because we really need the money. And once you start touching this money, it's like, wow, I have so much of it. What do I do? What do I do? And I'm going to be checking in maybe at the end of the month. If people are interested, I can totally go over like, hey, what do you do with your money that you get per week? What do you do with it? Right now, I'm waiting on the taxes to come out of my one checkings account. And yeah, and then I got a couple of other bills and then I'm done for the rest of the month. When it comes to expenses, everything else that I earn, it's just going to be, am I paying off debt? Am I saving? Am I contributing towards my birthday trip, right? How am I using that money? I can totally check in with what my budget looks like weekly, bi-weekly, because I work every weekend and then my money fluctuates. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think. This is Auntie T, okay? This is your auntie trying to tell you to save your money. I'm debating if I should, you know, categorize these videos as Captain Save-A-Ho, Captain Save Your Money. I'm still thinking on it. I'm trying to figure it out. And pay your taxes. You can only dodge Uncle Sam for so long before he finds you. And I have friends who they got found and now they're paying the price for it. Okay. I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. And let's get this bread. Bye.